the planet in 33 years, and there has never been an Atlantic hurricane as strong as this storm. The wind's now 195 miles per hour. We don't know exactly how strong the winds are. These are satellite estimates, gusting to 230 miles per hour perhaps, and it's now moving west at 24 miles per hour. That is the only somewhat good thing about the situation. The storm is at least moving along. It's not going to linger, but it's going to cause terrible devastation as it moves through the Philippines tonight. So let's show you where we are. This is China. Here's Vietnam. This is the Western Pacific. These are the Philippines, this collection of islands right through here. There are about 98 million people in the Philippines all told, so that's about a third of the population of the United States. And many of these people are going to be going through a terrible night tonight. It's actually daytime there. The sun is now just coming up. It's going to be nighttime, our time. And here's a closer look at this satellite picture. You see this very well-defined, what we call central dense overcast, this big collection of thunderstorms about a very well-defined eye, and that eye wall is now coming onshore and is going to begin to wreak havoc across these central parts of the Philippines. So we've been getting some wind readings. We got a wind reading from this Guian right here, a sustained wind of 96 miles per hour coming out of the northeast, so no doubt gusting much higher than that. The winds so far have not been strong in these cities to the west, but one of our storm chasers that we've been talking to in the last couple of days, Jim Eds, is right here in Tacloban, and it looks like he's going to be pretty much directly hit by this storm as it moves across in the next hour or two, and we'll probably see terrible damage there in Tacloban, home to about 220,000 people. So a devastating storm moving through. This is a look, by the way, at Tacloban, the Philippines, and fishing, one of the big industries here, and again, 220,000 people live here. Certainly there are plenty of concrete structures, but there's a lot of substandard housing as well. That's the case in general through the Philippines, and hopefully everyone has gotten to evacuation centers. But I can tell you that we had a terrible storm last year, 11 months ago, and we saw a terrible loss of life. About 1,100 people were killed by a similar storm in the southern Philippines. There is a look at the radar picture. Notice the very heavy rain. In addition to the wind threat, there's also going to be a spectacular amount of rain that will lead to landslides and flooding, and then there's a surge threat. And with a storm like this, it would not be unreasonable to expect a 20, maybe 25, or even possibly 30-foot storm surge as the storm comes through. So here's the model depiction. Next couple of hours, those very strong winds firmly in place here in the eastern part of the central Philippines. Then we go into 10 o'clock tonight. You notice the storm center moving along pretty quickly. Again, it is moving at 25 miles per hour or nearly so the wind's already beginning to get lighter around midnight our time in these areas that will probably have been hit very hard, and then moving over into the central part of the Philippines and getting into the western part of the Philippines. That's when the winds are going to be picking up late tonight and overnight our time, then into early tomorrow morning. Still very strong wind in the western part of the central Philippines, much better there in the eastern part of the Philippines, and then finally by the middle of the day our time, we'll watch that storm begin to move out. Beyond that, it is going to continue out into the South China Sea and will make its way towards Vietnam most likely, but it will be weakening as it nears Vietnam, probably a Category 3, rapidly on its way down to a Category 1 as it moves into central Vietnam and then up into the northern part of Vietnam. But I fear that this is going to be one of the worst disasters that we've heard about in quite some time. Kelly, over to you.